Alright, so it's the moment you've all been waiting for. Universe mode details. We've been waiting for this for a long time, and 2K have now released the official details regarding universe mode for WWE 2K20. So let's get stuck in. These are the details confirmed today as part of this press release, and you're also going to see screenshots from the menus of 2K20 Universe Mode. So, we've been talking about this for quite some time. We've all left our feedback on the 2K forum, but have 2K listened? We're about to find out. Here we go. So first, I'm gonna put a disclaimer out there because you know I've championed improvements for Universe Mode for 2K20 since day one of this campaign. I have felt that Universe Mode deserved the love after the feedback you fans gave. Did 2K deliver? Well, I'm gonna let you in on a secret. When I opened up this press release, it was on an A4 sheet of paper, just one, and the bullet points for the improvements only just covered about half of the page. Now, I'm not the sort of person that says quantity over quality. If the improvements are quality, there doesn't need to be that many. But just seeing that in front of my eyes, such a small amount, did have me worried. So I'm putting that out there as a disclaimer, because like I've said, Universe Mode this year, I felt from you the fans, it required the love. And by the end of this video, we will decide if 2K did indeed give this mode the well needed love that it deserves. So with that in mind, let's read the official press release. WWE 2K20 Universe Mode brings players more. Are you a hardcore Universe Mode player? Then there's plenty to get excited about in WWE 2K20. Check out this list of updates that will give players more freedom to create than ever before. So here come the bullet points of improvements. Firstly, major and minor show match limits have increased from 7 to 9. Okay, it's a little bit, but okay. Pay-per-view match limits have doubled from 7 to 14. So we've just seen a few increases there. The number of championship titles per major show have increased from 6 to 7. Okay, there's a bit of a pattern developing here. Simultaneous rivalries on major shows have increased from 3 to 4. Pay-per-views can be co-hosted by up to 3 major shows versus the previous 2. Alright. Players have more freedom to delete and add promos and matches. Okay. I didn't think that was such a problem. Definitely, in my opinion, not a major problem, but did you find that a bit of a pain? Let me know in the comment section below. Next, 50. Oh, that's a big number. 50 of the most used cutscenes have been reshot with female mocap actors to look more authentic when female superstars are used. Well, that's good. That is good. So it gives you more versatility when you use female superstars, but whether or not, again, that's something that I feel is necessary, that's a major. I like the idea that you have got more cutscenes, but they've been reshot, so they're not new, they're just opening up the door for the female superstar. So It's a bit 50-50 considering it is 50 of the most used cutscenes. You see what I did there? Next one. 25 new cutscenes have been added. Good. The more cutscenes, the better. But so far, no mention of any sort of freedom to create your own stories via using cutscenes that you can input into your universe mode so you can really control your universe like I suggested. Not hearing that yet, hearing more just, I'd say again, subtle improvements. But this is a big line here. 3,040 new promo lines are in game. So they've added a ton of lines for promos. Now I would say that is very cool. It's great to get good voiceovers, but it does depend on what those voiceovers say. Let's hope that it has a serious tone about it. Of course, you can have some humour in there, but not things like, for example, John Cena challenges you to a match before he goes for a sandwich. Because those were the sorts of lines that we were getting in WWE 2K19 as part of promos. The ridiculous. Now I'm all for the wacky and the wild in my career, but when I want to focus on my universe and have a bit of a serious tone and people are really stepping up a rivalry, I don't want to hear about no sandwiches. No. So I hope that these lines are authentic and they are worthwhile and they advance stories. If they don't do that, then we got a problem. Let's keep going. Custom matches can now be included in match tables along with new mixed match tag matches. Cool. So the mixed match challenge matches are now included within universe mode. Very good, because we did have aspects where certain match types couldn't be used in universe mode. So that's decent, that's a step up. Next one. New championship match settings in match tables can be used to make certain matches a title match. So again, where we had issues before where certain matches couldn't apply a title, now you can. Again though, these seem relatively minor fixes. I'll continue. I'll give you my full opinion when we reach the end of the bullet points. Main event matches in match tables have been tweaked so that those match types are more likely to occur on the show. Example, Royal Rumble match at the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. I'm just gonna digest that one for a second. Okay, so I'm assuming that it's meaning that the AI is going to think more seriously about match placement and where they end up on which show. Good, that's good. It needs to have that logic about it. Decent. Next one. New rivalry content includes options such as low intensity enemies, making peace after single pay-per-view, quite like that, or low to mid intensity allies, slowly falling over several weeks instead of a sudden turn. Now we did talk about this, and rivalries was a major factor for you, that you wanted that improved because it felt like the same rivalries would happen again and again and again, and it would go through the same process. So if we have different intensities and we pick up different issues with different enemies, and you can have a simple rivalry where it's low intensity and you make peace after say one pay-per-view, but then you have another rivalry that can stem over several weeks and it doesn't just end up with a sudden turn, then I do think that's quite good, because anything that gives us a variety in the rivalry option and in that department is something that is a boost from last year. Plenty of you said that the rivalries were too basic, and I said that it would be nice if we had branching rivalries. So one minute you're in a feud, someone interjects themselves into it, then you've got two rivalries on the go and they can entwine and advance storylines. If we're going to get that much, we'll have to wait and see. But it is nice to see that 2K have focused on rivalries and the intensities, giving us these different levels. Good. And the final point, the overall menu flow has been streamlined to make it more accessible to those new to Universe mode. All deeper options are still available for experienced players. Well, that's not really much, is it? If you're picking up the game for the first time, great, that's very handy for you, it simplifies the mode. But if you're an experienced player, that's not really giving you anything extra. So, what do I think? Well, I think there are a few positives in there, but it's not groundbreaking, is it? Now, I think after we saw the details of the Women's Showcase for 2K Showcase, the details around Roman's Tower, further development of My Career featuring a female superstar, we had the information from yesterday in regards to online. This once again feels like an afterthought. Universe mode, again, it's been given attention. Has it been given love? I'd say no. And that's me being honest. I do think the fact that you've got some new cutscenes, 25, that's alright. Could there be more? Yes. Could we have more details around those cutscenes? Like, these are the bullet points for now. I don't know if this is the be all and end all of Universe. Until anybody gets hands on with this game, we simply don't know. But if this is it, and this is the bare bones, 25 cutscenes is good, but what can we do with those cutscenes? Are they just going to auto-generate through time throughout the universe? Or are those cutscenes going to be able to be picked up, slotted in when we want? So it's almost like we're managing a show, and we're able to manage our cutscenes to create the stories that we want. Now, the strongest piece of detail out of these bullet points for me is the rivalry aspect. I think having those intensities from low to high are very good, and the fact that there's detail behind it as well, that some rivalries will only last over, say, to one singular pay-per-view, others could stem over several weeks. That's good. But again, there's not a lot else behind that. So it does have detail, but we would have to see how it plays out. But it's not quite what I was asking for, I know that. I kind of thought that with all the feedback and also the outcries of some sort of GM aspect being introduced into Universe mode, they would go and look at previous games and take some parts of that and drop it into Universe, but it doesn't appear like it's happened. Again, we'll have to wait and see. The only real way of telling is getting hands on. Bullet points are bullet points, but they don't paint the whole picture. They give you a snippet of information. You can only really gauge how good or bad something is when you get hands on. So, the jury is out at the moment. In terms of the way that things look, the screenshots, I'd say, are pretty. Again, we see a slightly different tone to what we had yesterday with online. Online was more blue and red. Someone said to me that it reminded them of my SNME Universe mode, the color coding. And now we've got more of a purple background. Does kind of look a bit like a universe. So I quite like that. But visually it looks okay, again. But you can't really take too much, I'd say, with something like Universe mode until you truly sit down and you play it. So, we will have to wait and see. My honest opinion at the moment is that these were tweaks. Universe mode needed a lot more for it to really live up to the expectation that you, the fans, wanted. That's my opinion. The love, not quite there. A bit of focus, yes, but the love for me has gone into other parts of the game once again. And that is something that 2K have decided. Is it something that I would change? Yes. But we'll have to wait and see for now. So anyway, let me know your views and opinions. Out of these bullet points, which ones stood out to you as the positives? And let me know what your overall feelings are about the details that you've got today. You know how I felt about this one. This is a passionate one for me. Even though my universe is created outside of the in-game universe mode, I just know that this should be the USP for a WWE game because of the passion that was shown on the 2K forum. You compare that to something like Towers, you know where the love needs to go. So I was always going to be heavily critical of this if it wasn't, I'm not saying a massive overhaul, but if it didn't have some of the aspects that I envisioned. That's just me. Have your say, let me know your views, and we will hope that when we test play this at some point, if we get the opportunity to, that potentially there's more to this. It's a bit of a Transformers line, but I'm going to drop it in there. There's more to universe mode than meets the eye. So, please rate, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you later.